Okay, it's good to write many exams, sir. Don't prepare, but write all possible exams. It will be good practice for you. Okay, because the core of any exam will be okay polity, economy, and history. Okay, ये तीनों सब्जेक्ट पे आपको थोड़ा कमांड है तो ओके कोई भी एग्जाम जाके ओके खेल जैसा ही लिख के आना बस. आपको भी प्रैक्टिस होगा. ओके अगर लग गए तो कोई लग गया. ओके तो क्योंकि वाई मीन्स यूपीएससी इज ओके समटाइम्स इट कैन ऑल्सो बिकम अनप्रेडिक्टेबल पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन. Okay, not just Union Public Service Commission, it also becomes sometimes unpredictable public service commission. So many a times, yes. But if you look at the prelims paper, then you will understand, sir. Yes, okay. So even after reading so much, also one cannot guarantee, okay, so that all questions will come, but that is not required to. But clearing prelims, if you are good in history, polity, and economy, you will definitely clear prelims. Okay, but most of the failures in prelims they happen because of weakness in any one of these three subjects. That forms the core of UPSC preparation. Okay, so उसके हिसाब से ही आपको prepare करना पड़ेगा. Now, when it comes to the next okay building style, so we are going to discuss about Akbar's building style. So 3 fort complexes. Second one is his buildings are known for their symmetrical plans. Symmetrical plan means okay everywhere there is an element of balance in his building. Okay, balance is present, symmetry is present. So these are the essential aspects. Then along with that, all of Akbar buildings, they are considered to be having or reflecting this masculine character. Okay, masculine character is also one thing which is reflected in his buildings. Okay, masculine character, a man-like or male character is reflected in his buildings, sir. And when it comes to his building complexes, okay, one is Fatehpur Sikri that he has constructed after his victory over Rajasthan. Then within the Fatehpur Sikri itself, he had numerous palaces. One is okay the Jodhabai Palace, which is in fact completely constructed in Rajasthani style, sir. So whatever Rajasthani style is there, so in the same style, the Jodhabai Palace is constructed. One more building is Panch Mahal. I talked about Panch Mahal, right? Each floor is in fact one style. One is arcuate, one is tribute. So this way, this altering style is called Panch Mahal style. So that is also one thing that he has constructed. Then apart from that, in the Fatehpur Sikri, he constructed 2 buildings. One is called Diwan-e-Khas and the second one is called Diwan-e-Aam. Diwan-e-Khas is the building which is the meeting of nobles. Okay, for the meeting of nobles and important people in the country, what he did is he constructed a structure called Diwan-e-Khas. Then second structure is Diwan-e-Aam, where he used to meet the general public. Okay, general public meetings are conducted in Diwan-e-Aam, sir. So when it comes to this Diwan-e-Khas, it has a very unique structure of its own, wherein in the center of the building there is a pillar, sir. And this pillar, it has a large bracket to it, and on top of the pillar there is a platform, okay, which a platform is present on top of pillar, and this platform it has 4 balconies to it, sir. And these balconies they extend, and from the center of building it touches all the 4 corners of the building. Are you getting this, sir? And the 4 corners of the building also internally they also have balconies. In fact, in Diwan-e-Khas, what Akbar used to do is he used to sit on the top of this pillar, which is the center of the building, and all his courtiers they used to sit on the balcony which is present on the first floor. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So this is one unique structure that has been constructed by Akbar, which is known as Diwan-e-Khas. I'll show the Diwan-e-Khas to you. So that is one structure. Then one more structure is Akbar, because he was not very hopeful about his own son. Before his death itself, he started constructing his own tombs. Okay, and what he did is so what he did is finally he was able to construct his tomb, which is in fact constructed in the form of a 5 terrace structure. Okay, so there is 5 floor structure. With each floor, the building it gets small. Okay, bottom building is very wide. Then after that, first floor a little narrow, second floor a little narrow. This way, this narrow pyramid kind of shape it takes, sir. And this he has constructed at a place called Sikandara, which is very nearby to Agra. So and on the top, okay, typically in all Islamic buildings you have dome, right? But here in Akbar's tomb, you don't have a dome, we have a shala top. So that is vaulted rooftop. You can see that Sikandara tomb of Akbar. The image is also given. Then one more important structure that has been constructed during Akbar's time is his Buland Darwaza. When it comes to Buland Darwaza, in fact, the arch is constructed in such a large fashion that the arch itself becomes a half dome in itself, sir. Because arch and dome, they follow the same principle, right? In fact, the arch of Buland Darwaza, it is so large that it becomes a half dome in itself, and he has constructed this Buland Darwaza after his victory over Gujarat region. Is it all right? So then along with that, he is the one who constructed the first Islamic marble construction, which is known as Sheikh Salim Chishti's tomb. Okay, there is one more thing that he has constructed in Fatehpur Sikri itself. So these are the important constructions during Akbar's period, sir. So let's have a look at that. So in fact, his construction also reflected his syncretic personality and character, which uses Hindu elements, Islamic elements, okay, local regional elements, all of them he integrated together in his buildings, sir. Is it all right? Okay, in fact, in the Jodhapai palace, which is present in Fatehpur Sikri, he permitted her to set up a temple for Hanuman. Okay, so Rama and Hanuma temple is also present in Jodhapai palace. So this way, his buildings were in fact secular in their outlook. All right, so tolerance of all religions, Fatehpur Sikri, Salim Chishti tomb, there you write, first Islamic marble construction. Fatehpur Sikri is the town of victory. Town of victory is Fatehpur Sikri. Salim Chishti tomb is first Islamic marble construction. Akbar's tomb is one more, and his buildings reflect his personality. One is innovation and experimentation. Second is they reflect this idea of religious tolerance. Yes, massive and lofty buildings he has constructed. Red sandstone and marble are the main items. And his buildings also contained mural paintings and glazed tiles. The glazed tiles means the tiles which are reflective are called as glazed tiles. Glazed tiles or reflective tiles. Then tribute and arcuate structure, both of them he used in his buildings. And the main buildings are his palace fortress complexes, which are present at Lahore, Allahabad and Fatehpur Sikri. And one prominent building of his is the Buland Darwaza, which has broad terraces and stately courtyards for it. Okay, broad terrace and stately courtyard, I'll show them. Then carved pillars, okay, the pillar of Diwani Khas, I'll show the image, sir. Carved pillars which has niches and brackets. Bracket is the one which holds the platform. Are you getting this, sir? Niche means multiple carvings are there on the pillar. So where some images are placed, which is known as niche. Then Akbar's tomb, okay, it contains 5 terraces diminishing with ascent and a vaulted roof on topmost story, and it is built of red sandstone. Okay, its construction is red sandstone construction, and it is this way, sir. Okay, 5 terraces. So I'll show the images of these things. Okay, first see this, sir. Okay, Fateh itself is victory. I talked about this. Then Buland Darwaza, constructed after, in fact, it is constructed in red and yellow sandstone with white marble inlay. In fact, the stones used in Buland Darwaza is also asked as a UPSC prelims question. Okay, that also asked as an UPSC prelims question. Okay, span of the arches, white marble inlay outlining the span of the arches. The loftiness of the structure is enhanced by a flight of steps on the outside. There you write, constructed after victory over Gujarat. Constructed after victory over Gujarat. Then tomb of Sheikh Salim Chishti is one more building. Tomb of Sheikh Salim Chishti. Buland Darwaza ke bagal mein you put a star mark. It has been asked to already. Then he constructed numerous administrative buildings. Okay, one is Diwani Khas. The plan of this building is in the form of a rectangle and is in 2 stories from outside, and it has flat terraced roof with pillared dome kiosk rising above the corner. I'll show this, sir. I'll show this building. Don't worry about it. Okay, it talks about the pillar which is present in the Bulandar in the Diwani Khas. It talks about. Okay, so this is the pillar structure, sir. See this. Are you understanding this? Central pillar in the building, Diwani Khas, radiating platforms on top. Then a huge capital is present. Okay, so this is the structure of Diwani Khas. Okay, Diwani Khas ka structure A hai. This is Buland Darwaza. The archway, it became so big that it is half dome, and it can be accessed only through flight of steps. Are you able to see it, sir? Then public, yes, public meeting halls. Diwani Khas is the one which is the meeting place of nobles. Can you see the balcony on side? So center mein emperor baithta tha, and on all 4 sides the nobles used to sit. Whoever wants to speak to the emperor, they have to come on these platforms and talk to him. Very unique, right? Okay, it's not part of any construction style in India till that time. Okay, very unique structure. So then along with that, this is a Diwani, this is Buland Darwaza. Marble is there, red sandstone and yellow sandstone are present. Yes, the archway is so big that it looks like a half dome, and it also has a 3 facade structure, octagonal shape. Can you sense the octagonal shape? Yes, so octagonal shape and 3 facade structure. So then apart from this is the tomb of Akbar, okay, which is constructed at Sikandara. And here also you can see multiple number of cupolas, no Islamic style, marble, red sandstone and yellow sandstone are used. But if you see, so Chetris are present. Then there is no dome on top. Okay, in fact, on top there is a barrel vaulted roof on the tomb. Roof is barrel vaulted. Then along with that, can you see the balconies which are extending here? Portal. These are lofty portals, right? Where people can stand, walk. Yes or no? Okay, so these are the structures which are associated with the Akbar's tomb, sir. Yeah, Akbar's tomb. This is in fact a very prominent structure of Akbar, sir. Steps. Huh? No, it is actually barrel vaulted, sir. Okay, if you go very small curvature, it is barrel vaulted. Vaulted, yes. Okay, barrel vaulted only. So that is the shape of the roof. So these are the important structures of Akbar. Then after that, okay, the next one is Jahangir. Jahangir is not known for any prominent buildings of his own, sir. The only important contribution of his is he laid the Shalimar Bagh gardens in Kashmir in Charbagh style. That is one important thing that he has done. Then apart from the Shalimar Bagh, one more thing that is important about Jahangir is during his lifetime, his wife, okay, she got commissioned a tomb for her father, which is known as the Itamuddaulah tomb, sir. Okay, this is the most prominent structure, which is in fact considered a model for, okay, Taj Mahal. Primarily because if you see, it is a completely marble structure. And can you perceive the Pietra decorations which are there? Okay, the entire building is carved and jali work is also there. You see the jali work? Intricately carved marble stone screens are present. Okay, in fact, this is the tomb of, okay, so Itamuddaulah, who is the father of, okay, now Nur Jahan, who was also the Wazir of the state. You remember? Okay, so Asaf Khan and Itamuddaulah. Okay, in fact, he is the grandfather of Mumtaz Mahal, sir. Okay, the two best tombs in India, they are built for, okay, grandfather and granddaughter. Are you getting this, sir? Okay, so this is the one, Itamuddaulah. And can you see that Shala roof, vaulted roof, can you see? Then minars are attached here, turrets they are called as. Then balconies are present, constructed on a raised platform. Here also this is Charbagh concept, sir. This is also Charbagh concept, okay, the same one. Okay, and this is the tomb of Itamuddaulah. And the Itamuddaulah's tomb is present in Agra. Okay, this is also present in Agra only. So this is one more prominent structure, Itamuddaulah's tomb. Okay, so the standard features are, so gardens, Shalimar Bagh in Kashmir, Jahangir. Second one is use of marble in construction, Pietra decorations, jali work, and the most prominent structure is Itamuddaulah's tomb. Jahangir ke baare mein itna hi hai, sir. Because his contribution is more in paintings rather than in construction. Huh? Shala is this. Barrel vaulted roof. Roof. Okay, roof is Shala roof. Alright. So this is the structure. Okay, so and this is the most important one. So in fact, in Akbar you write one statement, sir. Akbar's buildings reflected rationality, symmetry. Akbar's buildings reflected rationality, symmetry, and a masculine element in the building. Rationality, symmetry, and a masculine element in the building. Masculine element in the building. Masculine. Okay, masculine is male. Okay, masculine element in the building. Okay, symmetrical, rational, and masculine buildings. Buildings. Masculine element in buildings. Okay, now the next and last one is Shah Jahan. Okay, in fact, Shah Jahan's building, just like Akbar's building, which are masculine, Shah Jahan's buildings are feminine by nature. Okay, they in fact reflect a fine aesthetic sense. Okay, in fact, you look at the building, then immediately you will feel a sense of beauty inside. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? This is known as a very well developed aesthetic sense. If you visit Taj Mahal at any point of time, you will understand it, sir. Just by looking at the building itself, you will be overawed. And the buildings, they reflected a feminine quality rather than a masculine quality. They don't impose themselves on you. In fact, they will be like the buildings which are between dream and reality. Whether it is present really, particularly in the evening times, if you see, you will get this sense of whether it is made in reality or is it some imagination that you are having. That is a kind of a feeling that an onlooker gets when he visits Taj Mahal. In fact, one of the best constructions, that is the reason why it is included as one of the parts of 7 wonders of the world too. So primarily because it has, okay, a perfect symmetry to it. Not even a single element you find which is unsymmetrical in the building, sir. Okay, just beside Taj Mahal, usually with a mosque, with a tomb, they used to construct a mosque, sir. On one side, there is a mosque. But when Shah Jahan looked at this mosque, he found an dissymmetry. There was no element of symmetry because on one side there is a building, on the other side there is empty space. So what he did is, on the other side, he built a building just in order to maintain the balance. And this building doesn't serve any purpose. It is only for the sake of maintaining symmetry between the building. Then along with that, the minars were also very large and they were very well developed. Then there are balcony structures, minars are. Then along with that, the dome, okay, all the features of the Taj Mahal we already discussed about, right? So this is one important example, and it is considered to be a sermon in stone. And the architect, the chief architect of this building is a person by the name of Lahori. Okay, Lahori is the person, so full name I will tell you. So Lahori is the person who in fact planned and constructed the building, and the same Lahori with nearly 20,000 workers over a period of 14 years this building has been constructed. Then after finishing Taj Mahal, the same Lahori he shifted to Delhi, and in Delhi Shah Jahan along with Lahori they started constructing this building called Red Fort. Okay, most of the Red Fort that we see today, except for the outside walls, the internal structure, most of it is destroyed during invasions from foreign rulers. Okay, during some time Marathas they destroyed some buildings in Red Fort. Some other buildings were destroyed by Nadir Shah. Some other buildings were destroyed by the Jats. So, and some other buildings were destroyed by the Britishers during 1857 revolt. Here only a few buildings are surviving inside the Red Fort. In fact, it is also a complex which has been constructed with red sandstone. That is the reason why it is called as Red Fort, and it also has structures like Diwani Khas, Diwani Arm. Okay, the standard structures which are present in the fort of Fatehpur Sikri, they are all present in the fort of Red Fort. Then apart from that, just beside Red Fort, he has constructed a huge mosque, which is known as Jami Masjid. So these are the three prominent structures of Shah Jahan: Taj Mahal, Jami Masjid, and this other one is Red Fort. So these are the three things. So when it comes to Jami Masjid also has a huge entrance archway. Okay, then after that you enter into the archway. There you find triple dome structure, sir. I'll show you the triple dome structure. So that is how the mosque was built. These are the important contribution of Shah Jahan's to building. And he is the one who started using engraved arches in buildings for the first time. In Islamic construction, he is the one who first used the engraved arches. Alright. So these are the important contributions of Shah Jahan. So if you see the buildings, they are considered to be having feminine elaboration. They are considered as sermons in stone. Sermon means what? Sermon is a lecture. Okay, sermon is a lecture. A spiritual lecture is called as sermon. They are considered as sermons in stone. It is considered as aesthetic wonder. It is between real and unreal. And he is the one who started this engraved arch structure. Bulbous dome. Okay, so also he started charbagh concept. He used Petradura decoration. And during his lifetime, apart from the buildings that I talked about, he constructed numerous bridges over rivers. Okay, of these and along with bridges, he also constructed these canals. Okay, one of the most prominent canal of his is West Yamuna Canal. Okay, West Yamuna Canal is also constructed by him. Taj Mahal, Red Fort, and Jama Masjid in Delhi are the important structures. Okay, so this is Taj Mahal. Okay, can you see the charbagh, the water course which is flowing here? Okay, so then apart from that, this is the building style. Okay, then this is the Red Fort complex, and this is the Jami Masjid. Okay, Jami Masjid, three dome structure. Can you see? Attached minars which are known as turrets. Okay, all of these things are present here. It is also a marble red sandstone structure. Marble and red sandstone structure. Okay, these are the important ones. Then, okay, so in Taj Mahal, okay, there are octagonal pavilions. Octagonal pavilion means the chetri, okay, which if it is present on a building, it is known as chetri. If it is present independent to the building at some other place, then it is known as pavilions. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Pavilion is chetri if it is present on or nearby to dome, it is called as chetri. If it is independent from the building, then it is known as pavilion. Okay, so just like cricket pavilion. Okay, so pavilion is just the structure which is chetri, which is, write it down. Okay, octagonal pavilions had a structure similar to chetri, had a structure similar to chetri, but independent from the main building. But independent from the main buildings. Okay, one more term for chetri is also known as cupola. Okay, write it down. You don't get confused, sir. Chetri is also called as, write it down, cupola. Chhatri is also known as cupola. Cupola is the English term. Okay, the Hindi term is Chhatri. Pavilion. Pavilion. Octagonal pavilion is given there. So independent Chhatri is called as pavilion. Is it alright? Okay, so then write it down, sir. The architect of Red Fort and Taj Mahal, please write it down. The architect of Red Fort and Taj Mahal is Ustad Ahmad Lahori. Okay, Ustad means an expert in any field is called as Ustad, right? The architect is Ustad Ahmad Lahori is the architect of both Taj Mahal and Red Fort. And even the base plan of Taj Mahal is also this Hasta Behast. Okay, base plan of Taj Mahal is Hasta Behast. Okay, Hasta Behast style. Is it alright, sir? Making sense? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is it understandable, sir? Now, the next topic is colonial architecture. From this section, the thing is, usually not many questions are asked from this section, sir. But because it is part of our syllabus, we have to read about them. Because art and culture, it doesn't stop with medieval time. Modern art and culture is also part of our main syllabus. And there have been questions on modern art and culture in prelims. Okay, and in mains also there is a good possibility of a question. So first let us try and understand what are the basic elements of the colonial architectural style. In fact, in colonial architectural style, there are three styles, sir. One is called as the Greek style of architecture, which in India is also known as Palladian style. Okay, Palladian style or the Greco-Roman style it is called as. Okay, so just you understand the broad reach, then after that the specific buildings I'll show. So Greek style, okay, or Greco-Roman style is also known as Palladian style, Palladian. Palladian style is the first style. Then the second style is known as an architectural style which is called as Gothic style. Second style is Gothic style. Then the third style which has been, or the buildings which are constructed in India are a style which is known as Baroque style, which is constructed or used by the Portuguese. And the last style is called as Art Deco style. Art Deco style. Okay, so these are the three styles that we traditionally tend to discuss about in the colonial styles. When it comes to the Greek style is considered to be a style of Renaissance. In fact, the original old Greek and Roman buildings, they used to be present in this way. And this style, it got revived in medieval times through an architectural style called Renaissance architectural style. The Renaissance architectural style, you might be knowing about Da Vinci. Okay, you might be knowing about Michelangelo. Ever heard his name? Michelangelo, okay, Da Vinci. Yes, okay, Leonardo da Vinci, then Michelangelo. These people are the ones who revived this original old Greek style, which is known as Renaissance style. And this Renaissance style's essential elements are, this style is a rational style. Rational style. Okay, absolute geometrical principles they used to follow in building style. So that is the reason why it is considered as rational style. Then apart from being rational, this style is similar to the Mughal style. It is also a symmetrical style. They will give utmost importance to symmetry. Then apart from that, this style, Greek and Roman style, these are in fact the emblems of power. They tend to reflect the power of state, power, and gigantic buildings. Large buildings they tend to construct, gigantic, huge buildings, then they are usually reflective of power. Is it clear? Making sense, sir? Then usually the buildings, they have two styles, sir. One is, some buildings, they have a dome of their own. Okay, because Greek and Roman kingdoms, they used to construct dome-based buildings in ancient times itself. So domed structures are present in some buildings. Then apart from the domed structures in Greco-Roman style, one more style is, you might have known about the Athens Assembly Hall, which looks this way. This way you might have seen buildings. If you look at from the front side, this is known as pediment. Okay, pediment plus pillars. Okay, I'll show one building image, sir, so that you will not have any doubt here. This is. Are you understanding the pediment style? Okay, so is there any building in Odisha of this style? No. Any building is there? No? Okay, so this is pediment style. Then apart from that, okay, so I'll talk about things later. So usually, that is the reason why I don't want to show you images, because that will in fact break the narrative. Mental chain is also lost. Okay, so that is a pediment building. Okay, this looks this way. Then apart from the pediment building, one more important thing about these structures is usually these structures give a lot of importance to pillars, and the pillars have beautifully ornamented capitals to themselves. Okay, capitals of the pillars are very well ornamented. So ornamented pillar capitals is one thing. Yes. Okay, there are many buildings of this type. Okay, ornamented pillar capitals. Then which assembly? Bhubaneswar. Okay, so Bhubaneswar assembly is also built on the same style, it seems. Okay, I did not see it. Okay, but it might be the case. So this kind of pillars, okay, stacked pillars, sir. It means that you will have more number of pillars than what is required for the building, because the pillars are the ones which show the building to be very tall. Then apart from that, it will also have a sense of imposition and power on the people who are looking onto it. You have Indian Parliament building. It also has, if you look at the circle, it is completely pillared structure. Are you understanding this? These pillars, they don't just serve architectural purpose. They deliberately put more number of pillars than what is required for the building. Primarily because the pillars stacked together, they are in fact a sense of strength and power to the building they give. Are you understanding this, sir? So this style is called the Greco-Roman style, and majority of the buildings which have been constructed by the British in Bengal province, they are constructed in the same style, sir. Okay, Bengal province, whatever buildings are constructed, majority of them are constructed in the same Greco-Roman style. Then the second style is called as Gothic style. It is in fact a medieval European style, and Gothic style is usually the style of church construction. And usually if you look at churches in medieval Europe, medieval European church construction style, they will have this pitched roof structure of their own, because European climate is what? Okay, snow falling climate. So for them, pitched roof is okay, very important for them. So these pitched roof structures are used in the Gothic architectural style, and most of the Gothic architectural style buildings you mainly find in Bombay province. Bombay province, most of the buildings which are constructed are made out of this Gothic architectural style. Yes, Kerala also, cathedrals primarily, okay, they are all having this Gothic roof. Okay, this is called as Gothic pitched roof. And the buildings, if you see, the buildings usually have multiple number of windows on them, sir. Okay, you might have seen in most of the ghost movies, where the buildings are shown in the same pitched roof fashion, which have numerous windows through which usually people look at devils. Okay, and they don't run away, they again go out. Okay, so that is all. Okay, the windows, which are multiple number of windows, are usually attached to a Gothic building. And in Gothic buildings, apart from the pitched roof, some of the buildings also have dome structures on top. There are both dome and pitched roof structure, and this is also a rational style. Okay, and these kind of structures are usually constructed with multiple number of windows. Then along with that, okay, this is pitched roof and dome structures. This is the essential element of Gothic style. Okay, you know, might be knowing about this Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus, CST. CST is completely constructed in this Gothic architectural style. Okay, CST, it's today it is called CST. Earlier it is known as Victoria Terminus. Victoria Terminus is the original name. It is the central railway station of Bombay, and it is constructed in this Gothic style, sir. Understandable? Now, the next construction style is Baroque construction style, and this Baroque construction style, okay, rather than being a rational style, this is an emotional style. Okay, rationality and emotion are two different capabilities of human mind, right? Yes or no? One is rational, that is Greco-Roman. Second one is Baroque, which is emotional style. Usually, in this emotional style, they deliberately reject geometry and rationality in the buildings. Deliberately reject. Okay, deliberately they try to construct the buildings in an ungeometric, unnatural way. Okay, so the buildings which are usually having no aspect of rationality. So this way, the buildings are deliberately constructed in an emotional style. And these buildings, they give excessive emphasis to ornamentation. Okay, in Greco-Roman architecture, you don't find, okay, a lot of emphasis on ornamentation. But in Baroque architecture, you will find enormous amount of emphasis on ornamentation. Usually, as part of ornamentation, these people use paintings, they use light and shade effect. Okay, and these buildings, Baroque architecture, it is primarily used for the sake of church construction in Goa. Okay, this is an emotional style where deliberately there is irrational and ungeometrical figures which are used in the building. So in fact, an emotional style is very well suitable for the people who attend a church, right? A church is a place where you don't think of rationality. You usually depend on your emotional capability in a church. Okay, deliberately in order to prove that an individual is small in front of God, the temples are or the churches are constructed in Baroque style, sir. And the prayer altar in Baroque style, it is very well ornamented. Usually it has this golden spires which are attached to it, golden pillars which are twisting pillars are present. Okay, huge composition of Jesus Christ will be there. Then along with that, numerous paintings will be present in the church. Okay, one prominent painting of this format is, you might be knowing about Sistine Chapel. By any chance you heard it? Sistine Chapel is a very famous chapel in Italy, where okay there is an image which shows God touching his hand to man. Yes, you might have seen, right? So the same style it is implemented in Goa, okay, which is known as Trampoli style. Trampoli style is paintings on wall, has huge compositions in order to, in fact, talk about the mythology of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ and the Western mythology declare करने के लिए ये compositions, wall painting compositions are made, which is known as Baroque style, sir. Now, the last style is Art Deco style. Art Deco in itself means it is a mixed style, sir. It includes elements of okay Hindu style, okay Buddhist style, Islamic style, then French style, okay and Mayan architectural style. सबको मिला के एक style बना दिया, which is known as Art Deco style. And the most prominent building of the Art Deco style is in Bombay. Recently, it has been given UNESCO World Heritage Site tag. That is the reason why 2018 is the year when the Gothic and Art Deco buildings of Bombay, both of them together, they have been given World Heritage tag site, sir. And these, okay, Art Deco buildings, the most prominent building is the one which is known as Eros Cinema. You know Eros Cinema? So you might have watched this movie Sanju. So in that actor, okay, after that, knowing about the death of his mother, he comes out and cries in the movie theater, right, while looking at a, okay, on a staircase which is in fact having golden color. Then his father comes to him. So that, in fact, that movie theater is Eros Cinema. It is constructed in Art Deco style. That is one prominent example, sir. So these are the 4 construction styles which have been seen during the British colonial rule. Is it all right? Now, shall we have a look at the slides, sir? Is it simple? So in this fashion, you can easily write some essential elements in mains answer, right? Is it making sense, sir? इससे ज़्यादा आप लिख भी नहीं सकते. Okay, you can write only these 6. Okay. Now let's have a look at these buildings. What material? Okay, they used typically stone and brick. Okay, mostly stone they used. Okay, different kinds of stone they used for building. Okay, so this is one that building. Okay, which is in fact the town hall in a Bangalore city, and the capitals that used. Okay, pillar पे capital होता है बोल के मैंने बोला ना. Okay, one is Doric, second one is Ionic, the third one is Corinthian. So these are the 3 kinds of capitals which have been used for pillars. And usually the Palladian style is also known for its large windows, sir. So this is a Palladian window. Okay, so you might have seen many houses of Bengal Jamindars are also constructed in the same style. You might have watched Devdas movie. Okay, in that also the building is, okay, in fact the Greco-Roman building. Okay, so most of the palaces of Jamindars in Kolkata were constructed in this way. And this is one famous building called Writers Building in Kolkata. This is also a Greco-Roman style. Okay, so here also you find some colonnade structure. Are you understanding this pillared, stacked pillared style? Colonnade. Okay, so then the buildings are accessed through steps. In fact, they try to impose themselves on the people who are onlookers. In order to display the British power itself, they constructed the buildings in this style. Okay, so that is the case. So now let's see this, sir. Colonial age, classic Greek style, which is also called as Palladian style or Greco-Roman style. Please write one more term there. It is also called as Greco-Roman style. It is also called Greco-Roman style. It was marked by large-scale structures. Symmetry and proportion is given high importance. Yes. Then apart from that, supported or decorated by columns of Doric, Ionic and Corinthian pillars. Okay, then front porch is topped with a pediment. I've shown the pediment, right? The triangular structure. Okay, that is what is called pediment. Then durable building materials they have used, which can last for longer time. Rectangular windows surmounted by large Renaissance styled domes. Yes, domes are also present in some buildings. Sometimes columns were multiplied and stacked to create an impression of height. Okay, impression of height. While the facades were decorated with a combination of colonnades and porticos. Okay, so writer building may I have shown the facade is the entrance may you have seen stacked colonnade, right? Okay, colonnades and porticos. It is a rational and imperial style. and it is primarily secular in its outlook. Rational and imperial style, and it is secular in its outlook. Are you getting this, sir? Rational style, okay, geometric patterns पे भी ज़्यादा emphasis था, वो भी लिख लेना. Geometric patterns and less emphasis on ornamentation. Geometric patterns in building and less emphasis on ornamentation. And there is less emphasis on ornamentation. Okay, even though some buildings are included in your handout, some others are not included, but you will get the slides. I'll share the slides with you. Don't worry about it. Okay, so don't worry about it. Slides will be shared. So these are the structures, okay, which are present as part of the classical Greek style. Then the next one is Victorian Gothic style. Can you see this, sir? Are you understanding Gothic style means what? Okay, it looks like a church, but this is the Bombay High Court. Okay, this is the Bombay High Court, sir. So this is in fact Transylvania's casinos. You might have castles. Okay, you might have seen in any vampire movies. Dracula. Yes. Okay, so usually the buildings look this way. Okay, so then along with that, can you see the buildings here also? Okay, in Maihuna you might have seen that one arched may finally fights running scene. Okay, so that is also an similarly pitched roof structure. Here also pitched roof is there. Okay, then on top, see the central dome is there. Then here on the other sides, there is this pitched roof style only again. Can you see the pitched roof style? Everywhere it is the same. Then along with that, if you see the structure, entirely it is covered with windows. Are you getting this, sir? And usually the windows, they are placed in stone traceries. Stone tracery means what? The windows will have, let's suppose this is a window. Okay, I'll just draw it for you. Let's suppose this is a window. Usually the windows, they are in fact having stone designs of their own this way. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, just like the windows right now, we keep iron bars, right? So earlier they used to keep stone designs for windows. These are known as stone traceries. Okay, these are the important elements of the Victorian Gothic style. Okay, Gothic style it is called as. So this is a church construction style. So and let's have a look at the main aspects here. Okay, so in fact Victorian Gothic, first point you write pitched roofs. Pitched roof. Okay, pitched roof style. Pitched roof. Which one? Piedmont is usually, it is just an ornamental structure which is attached to a building. Pitched roof is the essential aspect of the building which looks like a hut. Okay, Piedmont, you see, it is present only at the front face of the building. It is not extended to the back. Back is just usually a rectangular building, but only the front part it is made into a Piedmont. Pitched roof is what? The entire building is shown in the format of this pitched roof. Understanding this? Okay, I think you got the mental picture of what I'm trying to say. And usually they also have inside, if you see, they have vaulted roof. Okay, inside you have vaulted roof, that is curved roof. Then they have lots of windows, bulbous domes are there. Then apart from this, if you see the pitched roofs, they don't usually end with the building. They are usually having extensions this way. Okay, these extensions are known as eaves. You don't have to remember, sir. Only some points you remember. Not everything is important. Okay, these extensions are called as eaves. Okay, then pierced arcades, okay, domed chhatris also are used in these buildings. Okay, domed chhatris, same thing, chhatri. Okay, so that is also used in the Victorian Gothic style. Okay, I have included some other diagrams for this, but I'm unable to find them. I have missed those diagrams. Okay, so this is the case, sir. Okay, fine, whatever it might be. So these are the most important ones, sir. So in fact, there is one more thing called glass house. Okay, which is made in the same style, glass house, which is present at this place called Lal Bagh in Bangalore. Okay, because Bangalore is a place or a military cantonment, so there you find this building called glass house at Lal Bagh. It's given, right? Okay, glass house at Lal Bagh, Victoria Memorial. Okay, so Victoria Terminus is one more. Then Bombay High Court. Bombay High Court name you write. Okay, Bombay High Court is the next building. So these are the important buildings which are constructed in this particular style. All right. Then after the Victorian Gothic style, the next one is the style called Art Deco. Art Deco ke pehle, let's see the Baroque architectural style. Okay, Baroque architectural style buildings. Okay, this is the Basilica of Bom Jesus. Okay, remember the story of Saint Francis. Okay, so that is the same structure, and Xavier, yes, Francis Xavier, Saint Francis Xavier, yes, okay. So not Charles Xavier. So can you see the style here? So in fact, the prayer, okay, altar, if you see, it is very well ornamented and decorated with gold, okay, finished with it. Twisted columns are there at one end. Okay, it shows the mythology of the Christ. Okay, most of the things are constructed in the format. Okay, this also has a shala roof, you see. Shala roof is there. Then they also play with the light and shades. If you look at from the inside, usually there is a lot of effect of light and shade. Okay, I did not include any image of Trampoli. Okay, Trampoli is in fact the paintings on the walls of these churches. Okay, this style is called as Baroque style. Okay, so you write one statement, sir. Okay, so first let's see this, then after that we will write one statement. So Baroque style is a Portuguese church construction style unit. Baroque style is Portuguese church construction style. It includes gigantic proportions. Gigantic proportions is a Portuguese church construction style. Then first point you see gigantism of proportions. A large open central space where everyone could see the altar. Then twisting columns it has. It mainly focuses on theatrical effects, which includes light coming from cupola above. You can see in some churches this kind of structure, right? Here wherein the light will fall from top. Okay, so cupolas will be present. Then dramatic interior effects created with bronze and gilding. Okay, bronze and gilding say you create a dramatic effect. And extensive usage of these paintings which are known as trampoli or quadratura. You highlight the word trampoli or quadratura. So it means that paintings in Portuguese temples, Portuguese churches are called as trampoli or quadratura. Trampoli or quadratura. Okay, so yes, Portugal mainly this style only. They are very different from the churches which are constructed in the central part of Europe. Portuguese and Spanish style this is. Okay, there is this reason why this style is only confined to Goa. Okay, so you write one statement, sir. This style is deliberately emotional. This style is deliberately emotional and rejects emotional and rejects the ideas of rationality and symmetry. To draw human mind beyond rationality to draw human mind beyond rationality. Okay, once you go beyond rationality, then only you will find God. Yes or no? Is it true or not, sir? Okay, till the time you are completely rational, okay, so why will you pray? There is no point, right? Okay, prayer is not a rational thing. Okay, so that is the case. So in fact, they were replaced with flowing curves, domes and roofs were enlarged, and the interiors carefully constructed to produce spectacular effect of light and shade. Okay, and it was an emotional style, sir. Okay, emotional style. In fact, there are some buildings which are included here. So you highlight some names, sir. Okay, you highlight only a few names you have to highlight. Is it given? Turn the page. Building names is given, right? So only highlight some names of the first one is Church and Covenant of Saint Francis of Assisi. You highlight that one. Then Basilica of Bom Jesus you highlight. Basilica of Bom Jesus. Then the Church of Our Lady of the Rosary. So these are the three church names that you need to remember. So these are the prominent churches: Church of Our Lady Rosary, Basilica of Bom Jesus, and the third one is Church of Saint Francis of Assisi. Okay, so these are the three prominent churches which are present in Goa, which are made in this style. Then after this, the next style is this Art Deco style. Okay, Art Deco style. In fact, you see the building. Okay, this is the building. From outside, it looks this way. From the inside, it looks this way, sir. Okay, so now you remember that scene in Sanju. Yes, okay, so this is the building, sir. Exterior, if you look, it looks like the style of pagoda and stupa, which is a Southeast Asian style, right? Pagodas usually look this way only. Okay, pagodas, they look this way. So it looks outside like a Southeast Asian building. But if you go inside, the entire interior decoration is French. The entire interior decoration is French. Okay, so you might have watched this famous movie of Inglorious Bastards. Inside there is a theater scene there where the theater is burnt. Okay, the entire theater is made in the same style which is known as Art Deco style. Okay, so the same thing, Sanju movie, I'm just giving a different example. The interior is completely French in design, but exterior it looks like, okay, a mixture of Indian and Southeast Asian styles. Okay, Art Deco style is in fact a style which doesn't have any logic behind it. It takes all the elements which are beautiful from different styles and integrates them together in one particular style which is called as Art Deco style. Only this thing you need to know. Apart from that, there is no need to know anything else, sir. Is it all right? So, and in the mixed style, what elements they have taken is, see this, sir. So, in fact, was a pastiche means mixture of many different styles. Sometimes some styles are contradictory, but they are united by the desire to be modern. Okay, so in fact, they were influenced by the styles of China, Japan, India, Persia, ancient Egypt, and Mayan art. Okay, these are the important influences. No need to remember the influences. Just remember that it is a mixed style. Okay, it is a mixed style, and this is known as Art Deco buildings. And the most prominent one is Eros Cinema. Okay, particularly in South Bombay, okay, which is the richest part of Bombay, you find the buildings in Art Deco styles. Interior is fully luxurious. But from exterior, if you see, it looks like a Buddhist pagoda. Okay, so that is the case with this Art Deco style, sir. Then after Art Deco, okay, the last thing that we need to discuss is Delhi architectural style. So during colonial period, the last style is Delhi architectural style. In fact, you might be knowing that the city of New Delhi was constructed by the Britishers, right? And while constructing this New Delhi, they have employed two important architects in order to construct the city of New Delhi, sir. One is Edward Lutyens. That is the reason why even today Delhi is known as Lutyens Delhi, right? Yes. So Lutyens is one. Then, okay, the second one is a person by the name of Herbert Baker or Edward Baker, sir. Edward Baker, right? Edward Baker is one. Lutyens' first name is also Edward. Edwin Lutyens and Edward Baker. These are the two people who have been employed to do this. And what these people did is, while laying the plan for New Delhi, plan for New Delhi, what these people did is they planned the city in the format of an octagon. Okay, this will be hexagon. Okay, so I think you understand what an octagon looks like, right? Okay, it will have 8 sides to it. Okay, not very well drawn. After that, it looks as if it is a hexagon, but it is an octagon. Okay, so I think you understand 8 sides. Usually the city shape is octagon, sir. And this octagon, if you look from above, it looks like a circle. Okay, it looks like a circle. And usually the central part of this New Delhi plan, it contains these hills which are known as Raisina Hills. Okay, you might be knowing about this Raisina dialogue. Okay, so Raisina Hills is the place where the central part of Delhi is present. From this Raisina Hills, what happens is the roads, they get extended in octagonal fashion. In 8 directions, the roads get extended. Okay, and in these 8 roads itself, what you'll have is, okay, on every road you have the prominent official residences. Okay, so then along with that, the bhavans like UPSC Bhavan is also present here. Okay, if you go to New Delhi, UPSC Bhavan Dholpur House is present on this, okay, octagonal plan itself. Okay, broad and intersecting roads which take the shape of an octagon. That is the main element here, sir. So very broad roads which in fact meet to a circle which is an octagon. This is the central plan of Delhi. And at regular intervals here, you find large parks and garden-like structures. Large parks and garden-like structures are found in this Raisina Hill, the New Delhi part. So park places will be there, green spaces. Then apart from that, all official complexes are built here. If you get selected for UPSC, finally, if you work in the central cabinet, your house will also be allocated in this place only, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Then after this, if you see the central Raisina Hills, the central Raisina Hills, it contains 4 prominent buildings, sir. 5 prominent buildings in total. One is India Gate. Okay, it will be present at one corner. Then apart from that, you have, okay, the presidential palace, okay, which is known as Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, on Raisina Hill top itself, you will have it. Then on 2 sides of this Rashtrapati Bhavan, there will be 2 secretaries. One is called North Block, the second one is called as South Block. So North and South blocks will be present. Then apart from this, just to the side of it, you will have the Indian Parliamentary Building. Okay, so these are the main buildings: India Gate plus Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is earlier called as Viceroy's Palace, then North Block, South Block, along with the Parliament Building. So these are the main buildings which are part of this. And while constructing these buildings, these people, what they wanted to do is, they wanted to use the Indian elements in building along with the British elements. They wanted to create a new style of architecture called, okay, Indo-European style of architecture. And as an attempt to build this Indo-European architectural style itself, they mixed up the Greco-Roman styles with the Indian Buddhist, the Indian Hindu, plus the Indian Islamic style. Okay, Greco-Roman plus Buddhist plus Hindu plus Islamic, all these elements are mixed together in the buildings. That is the reason why, if you see the Rashtrapati Bhavan of India, the Rashtrapati Bhavan of India, it has a dome which is made in the format of Buddhist stupa. It is a Buddhist stupa, sir. I'll show the image. Then apart from this Buddhist stupa, if you look at the buildings, they are built in the format of the multi-colored marble buildings of the Mughals. Mughals used multicolored marbles, right? If you see North and South Block, they are also built with multicolored marbles. Number 2. Then third one is, while building the capitals of this building, capital means pillar will be there. There will be a capital, right? So on capital, what these people did is, deliberately they included Indian designs like, okay, bells on the capital. Bells were integrated on the capital, and this order of capitals, it is known as Delhi order. It is called as Delhi order. Then apart from that, okay, on the buildings or in the buildings, if you see, the basement of the building after the pillars are constructed, usually the pillars are given elephant capitals on top. Elephant image is shown on capital top. That is also one element. Then apart from that, you find in these buildings, the Indian elements like chhatris are present on this building top. Then along with that, the European style of domes is present. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Then apart from that, the Greco-Roman style of this pillared arcade, okay, multiple pillars, Parliament building, I already talked about, right? So this pillared arcaded structure is Greco-Roman style. Then the base plan of the Indian Parliament building, it is taken from this Chauset Yogini temple, which is present at Morena. You remember yesterday I talked about this? Okay, so Chauset Yogini temple becomes the base plan for the Parliament building. So this way, the Indian elements, European elements, Islamic elements, all of them are merged together, and this new style of buildings were constructed in Delhi. The base plan is octagonal, running roads, gardens, plus public buildings. Then along with that, in Raisina Hills, you have the Rashtrapati Bhavan, India Gate, North Block, South Block, along with Parliament. Are you getting this, sir? So this has been asked as a mains question earlier. And now Indian government is planning to, in fact, move away from the Raisina Hills, okay, in order to reject the British heritage. So we will see, okay, so that is the reason why it becomes even more important, because right now we are constructing this central vista. Central vista, it contains, okay, not only the Parliament, it also has separate secretariat buildings of its own. Are you understanding this, sir? So that is the case with this. So now let's see this, sir, Delhi architectural style. So the chief architect is Sir Edwin Lutyens is one, and his colleague Edward Baker. They are British architects. They set to study the Buddhist, Hindu and Islamic features while redrawing their plan for Delhi. They constructed majestic buildings like Viceregal Palace, okay, which had a dome like Buddhist stupa, and most of the buildings represented some elements of Hindu ornamentation or Islamic symmetry. Islamic symmetry, beauty and structural majesty are important here. Most of the structures appeared massive, heavy and strong. Okay, they contained chhatris, that is Islamic element of ornamentation. Then stone lattice screens, that is jali. Jali is a stone lattice screen. Carved images of elephants and the colossal Buddhist stupa or dome. Then he also invented his own Delhi order of neoclassical columns that fuse Greek and Indian elements. I'll show it, sir. I'll show the column, okay, Greek and Indian elements. Then hybrid style of Indian and neoclassical. Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House, Secretariat, North and South Block, and even Connaught Place is also made in the same structures. Okay, Connaught Place you should visit, okay, when you go to Delhi. So in fact, it is an arcaded pillar structure. Okay, it means that while walking for shopping, you can walk under shade, and all the shops will be present on one side. Okay, and it is round, just like the Parliament building, Connaught Place. Okay, so they see this one, sir. So Connaught Place, they are placed in gardens. So this is one, sir. Okay, see the Parliament building, and at the center of Parliament building also there is Buddhist stupa. We usually don't see it from top. Okay, can you understand the pillared colonnaded structure? Yes. Okay, then along with that, that is the north-south block, and is that, and this is the image of the north block. Can you see the yellow and red sandstone combination, similar to the Mughal style? But the dome, it looks like a European dome, right? This is Renaissance dome. Are you understanding this, sir? This is Renaissance dome. So this is a dome. Then it is also associated with Chhatris. Chhatris are also present. Yes. So then, apart from this, one more element, one more aspect of these buildings is, this is the Rashtrapati Bhavan, sir. It is also a mixture of Indian and European style of construction, and on top there is a Buddhist stupa. Here also Buddhist stupa is there. Okay, so this is the base plan, which looks like a hexagon, but it is very difficult to perceive it through this diagram, sir. Okay, you can draw the hexagon with roads, that is better. Are you following this? Okay, hexagon with roads you can draw. Then the capital which I talked about, the Indo-Greek capital, is this. Okay, can you see the bells there? These pillars are known as, that image is not given there. Okay, that is known as, okay, the Delhi order of pillars, which mixes up some elements of Greek pillars plus Indian pillars by putting bells on top. All right, making sense, sir? Okay, so Delhi architecture pe you will be able to write an answer. It's not very difficult right now. Okay, so this is the case. So Parliament is inspired by the Chauset Yogini temple at Morena. Then Baker, he is the one who constructed the Twin Secretariat building, which combined European style with Indian architectural elements, like the use of sandstone, jalis, chajja. That is, chajja is eave. Okay, chajja is in fact the extended balcony is called chajja. Chhatri, carved brackets as well as elephant's head on pillar capitals. The plan of Lutyens Delhi is purely geometrical. There are tree-lined streets radiate from the central vista and converge into an hexagonal node. I think I told octagonal, but it is hexagonal. It is hexagonal only. I think it would have been far more simple for me to draw. Okay, so 6 roads, they emanate from central vista and they join to form a hexagon. Okay, so hexagon. So this plan is also remarkable in the sense that there are generous green spaces, lawns, water courses. Okay, so then along with that, okay, so these are the important things about this building structure, sir. This is known as the New Delhi design plan. Right now, the central vista which is being constructed, it is the Indian government plan. We are completely replacing, sir. We are taking up a new building for Parliament. So by next general election, after next general election by 2031, you will not have the old Parliament building. Okay, the new because the old Parliament building, it doesn't have enough space to accommodate more number of MPs. And Modi's plan is 2031. He wants to, in fact, reorder this constituencies of states. Right now, the constituencies are fixed at 1971, right? Population. So once they are reordered according to the current population, the Indian Parliament will have a strength of nearly 900 people. Yes, I am not joking. It will have 900. Okay, once it has got 900, of this 50% of seats will be taken over by UP, Bihar, okay, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Bengal. 50%, not majority. 50% by 5 states. This is not a joke. This is going to happen. Okay, that is a ticking time bomb of Indian politics is only this. That is the reason why he has rejected the old Parliament building and he is going for new Parliament. Because he knows very well that the Hindi belt is going to solidly vote for him. Okay. Yes. Okay, so there are many things, sir. Okay, so leave it be. Again, I don't want to digress. Already we are discussing too many things. Okay, now next one is post-independence. Here there is a person called Lowry Baker, sir. Okay, Lowry Baker is considered to be Gandhi of Indian architecture, sir. Okay, just by using the word Gandhi, we automatically should understand that he is inclusive, sustainable, more emphasis on green spaces, okay, building with the help of local materials, providing for green buildings, no usage of excessive electricity. All of these are the central aspects of Lowry Baker's buildings, sir. In fact, Lowry Baker's buildings, most of them, they are so well integrated into the environment around them, you can't distinguish the building from the environment which is around. And he uses only locally available materials, but not any material from outside, sir. So if you see this building, okay, so the building itself is integrated into the nature around it, and it is the Hutment style of India. Okay, so then one more building of his is it provides for natural air conditioning. Can you see it? So these are the buildings of Lowry Baker, and they are mainly present in Kerala. And he is considered to be the conscience keeper of Indian architecture, or the Gandhi of Indian architecture is Lowry Baker. Conscience keeper or the Gandhi of Indian architecture is this person called Lowry Baker. Okay, this is one. Then the second one. Okay, so the second building structure which was built after independence of India is the city of Chandigarh. Okay, which is in fact a planned city developed by the Indian government. Okay, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. He brought a French architect to India by the name of Le Corbusier, and he is the one who constructed this Chandigarh buildings. Not only buildings, even the city plan was laid by him, and his city plan is also in fact having the same geometrical design, geometrical city plan. Okay, very well broad roads which are intersecting with each other, very properly planned city. So then apart from the city plan, what he did is he constructed numerous public buildings in Chandigarh, sir. And these public buildings, they have a unique style called Le Corbusier style, which plays with light and shading and which plays with water reflection, sir. Okay, one is water reflection. Can you see the same building? Okay, deliberately a water tank is constructed because the building will have a reflection in the water. In fact, this is the assembly building of Chandigarh. Okay, even though it doesn't look in any way like assembly. Okay, then one more thing is that is High Court of Chandigarh, sir. Does it look like High Court in any fashion? Okay, so that is High Court. This is the assembly building. And one more unique thing about him is outside he doesn't paint his buildings, sir. And he doesn't even finish the concrete which has been poured for the construction of building. He let the concrete in fact solidify in natural format. There is no finishing here. Okay, very rough edges building will be there. So this is one more important thing about Le Corbusier buildings. And across Chandigarh at many places, his main emblem is open arm or open hand monument, sir. Here Le Corbusier's essential element is open hand monument, so which is shown in multiple number of areas in Chandigarh. Open hand monument is the hand which is ready to receive. Okay, rather than this hand, that is Congress, this hand. Okay, so open hand monument, ready to receive. Yes, okay, open for receiving. That is open hand monument, that is also present in many places in Chandigarh. So this is the important thing about Le Corbusier. And his architectural style, there is a name there which is known as promenade architectural style. You highlight that word, promenade architectural style. Promenade, it is present there. Just check it once. Promenade architectural style is present. So when it comes to this promenade architectural style, it is an architectural style where, as the person passes along a pathway, more and more buildings become visible for him. It means that they will not be imposing on a person. When a person starts walking only, he will realize that there are more buildings on the other place. Are you getting? They are not visible from a lot of distance. Then after you enter into the building also, it follows the same style. Initially, it will be very plain and simple. As you go into the interior of the building, it shows its beauty, sir. This style is called as promenade architectural style. Then the last one is Nekchand. Okay, see Nekchand is there. Nekchand, he is the one who constructed these rock gardens in Chandigarh. Okay, so which are constructed. He is Nekchand. He is in fact a government employee, sir. He is a government employee who is working in some state government job. Okay, but what happened is, during his office times, sometimes he used to get bored in office. So what he used to do is he used to roam around the city of Chandigarh. He used to collect waste. Okay, so both public waste and industrial waste he collects. And after collecting this waste, he disappears into a forest. And over a period of 25 to 30 years, without disclosing it to anyone, inside the forest, he constructs a garden for himself. Okay, it means that it is best to have government employment. Yes or no? Because you have enough time to follow your hobby too. Okay, आदमी ने क्या किया? 20-25 साल में he collected all the industrial waste and domestic waste in Chandigarh, and with this waste, he constructed a garden which is known as Nekchand's Rock Garden. Here, no structure. Okay, it is all about sculpture. Okay, and water courses also he built, and he built it all alone, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So, so there is a Nekchand's Rock Garden which is built with industrial and rock waste, industrial and household waste, say it is constructed. So this is the rock garden of Nekchand that finishes the topic of architecture, sir. Is it all right? I think you are understanding that. Okay, so these three aspects Okay, I'll just mark you or make you highlight some important points, sir. Okay, Lowry Baker is the first one. Just see Lowry Baker. I have discussed all things about Delhi architecture, right? Okay, so this post-independent Lowry Baker is there, influenced by Mahatma Gandhi. Cost-effective and energy-efficient architecture. Okay, cost-effective and energy-efficient architecture. He is considered to be the conscience keeper of Indian architecture. Okay, conscience keeper of Indian architecture. He is the one who started the green building tradition in India. It's given there, right? Handout me. Okay, you can. I'll share it because even this Ramappa architecture is also not present in your handout. Okay, Varangal wala Ramappa is also not there. I'll share, get it shared, sir. Okay, I'll get it shared. So these two things you write it down. Okay. So then after this, the next one is Chandigarh architectural style. So here you just highlight the important terms here. So his favorite symbol is open hand. Okay, use of raw concrete is second one. Then promenade architecture is the third one. Okay, so then light and shade. Okay, he plays with, write it down. He plays with light and shade. Plays with light and shade. Light and shade. He plays with light and shade. Light and shade. And he builds tanks in front of buildings. He builds tanks in front of buildings. Tanks in front of buildings. Tanks in front of buildings. Okay, now, so in fact, his buildings, three prominent ones are Assembly Hall is one, Secretariat is second one, High Court is one more. Okay, so and he also built this Tower of Shadows, not very important. So these are the three important buildings of his. Then the last one is this person, Rock Garden, Nekchand. Okay, Nekchand's Rock Garden. It is spread over nearly 40 acres, built with industrial and home waste. Industrial and home waste. Okay, that is the important thing. Okay, once I taught this, okay, student was very interested in which department he was working. Okay. Okay, because okay, 40-acre garden you create. Okay, so during okay, so your office time, it means that there is a very good department. Okay, very good place to work in. Okay, so that is the case with Nekchand sir. So this finishes the topic of architecture. Okay, so a big topic in art and culture is that. Okay, two handouts. Okay, we have run through it. Now we're going to start with the topic of sculpture. Yes, sir. Mannerism is nothing but similar to Baroque architecture. Mannerism is nothing but same as Baroque. Okay, you check it, you read it, it is the same. So if any person has the right to be exhausted, it is me. You know it, right? Yes or no? Okay, so but even then I regularly get looks of exhaustion, okay, overburden. Okay, but I am the one who has the right to get exhausted. Okay. Now let's move to sculpture, sir. It is in fact a very easy and simple topic. That is the reason why it can be finished off quickly. Okay, so there is nothing much to discuss there in sculpture. अरे क्या हो गया? Sculpture. Did you download sculpture? No, this one. So when it comes to this sculptural style of India, sculpture A. Okay. So okay, we'll learn through diagrams, sir. Whatever is present in the diagrams and images, only those things we will focus upon. So when it comes to the sculptural style of India, the independent sculptural style of India, it started with Indus Valley civilization, sir. And in Indus Valley civilization, there are two kinds of sculptures. One is called as bas relief sculpture. The second one is known as 3D sculpture. When it comes to the bas relief sculpture is the sculpture which is usually carved onto a wall or tablet. It is known as bas relief sculpture. Then the second one is the sculpture which is known as 3D sculpture. 3D sculpture is the one which has 3 dimensions to it and which is not attached to any wall or tablet. Are you getting this, sir? And when it comes to the 3D images of Indus Valley civilization, they have a remarkable quality of realism, sir. Here, realism is the important or the most important element of the Indus Valley civilization art is realism. Realism means they try to depict the human life as it is without any exaggeration, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Without any exaggeration, they try to show their own images. And in fact, when it comes to these 3D images, they made them in 3 fashions in total, sir. One is the images which are made of copper or bronze. Second one is the terracotta images. The third one is the stone cut images. And fourth one is the stucco images, sir. Okay, 4 types are there. Stucco, okay, then after that stone, then after that terracotta, and one is, okay, metal made images. So when it comes to this metal images, usually the metal images, they are made with a technique which is known as lost wax technique. Okay, lost wax technique. So this lost wax techniques is also known as Sire Pedro technique. Yes, it is also called as Sire Pedro technique, and Sire Pedro technique is a unique technique in sculpture wherein first the image will be made in wax, because wax is very easy to cut, right? So after making the image in wax, what they are going to do is they are going to apply a clay paste to the wax model. Then after applying the clay paste, what they are going to do is they are going to let it dry. After it drying, they will take it to a, okay, nearby a fire. And when it is taken near a fire, the wax which is present in the clay mold, it will get melted away. After the wax get melted away, in the same clay mold, they will pour molten metals. And when the molten metal is poured into the clay shape, then automatically the metal takes the shape of the wax which was present earlier. Are you understanding this? That is the reason why this technique is known as lost wax technique or Sire Pedro technique it is called as. And most of the iron or metal images of the Indus Valley civilization, they are made with the help of Sire Pedro techniques. Because metal doesn't permit itself to be carved, right? So it has to be molten and poured into a particular shape. Then it will take the shape of the particular clay mold, sir. Okay, and here, okay, this is the image of dancing girl. Okay, this is called as the dancing girl image. So here she is standing in a very unique pose which is known as Tribang style, sir. Tribang style is a unique style of India which has 3 body bends. So you might be knowing in Odissi dance form also Tribang style is usually used. So 2 poses will be there, Tribang and Chauk in Odissi. So similarly here also this is woman, she is standing in Tribang pose. Here the 3 bends in the body are leg is one, waist is one more, then second one, third one is neck. So these are the 3 places where there are bends here. Then along with that, she is in fact placing one hand on her hip, and this hand, it is completely having bangles to it, sir. Okay, even though it is not clearly shown here, it has bangles to it. Then along with that, her hair is shown in a bund format. Okay, bun hair. Okay, bun hair is usually the hairstyle, right? So bun hair. Then along with that, she is also wearing a, okay, this kind of, okay, amulet on her head similar to the bearded man. Bearded man image, they say, similarly, she is also wearing a headband. And this image, even though from very young age, we were continuously talking about this dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro, its actual size is just 10.8 centimeters. It is a very small image. Okay, initially when I was reading about this, I imagined it to be a large composition. But I went to the National Museum, Delhi, where this image is actually present. So it is just 10.8 centimeters in its size. This is one. Then apart from that, okay, some bronze images of oxen, okay, carts, okay, then along with it, some animals are also made with the same lost wax technique. Then the second kind of images which are present are the terracotta images, which are usually the mother goddess images. This is terracotta mother god image. Okay, she is wearing a headdress. Okay, then along with that, this is a very crude make, right? It doesn't show any sophistication. So these are the images which are mass produced by the Indus Valley civilization people, primarily because many commoners used to believe in the cult of mother goddess. And usually these mother goddess images, they usually have cup-like projections on the sides. These cup-like projections are usually used for lighting diyas for mother goddess. Are you getting this, sir? Diya. Okay, so that is one. Then after this, okay, this is a stone sculpture, okay, which is the sculpture of bearded man. He is having half closed eyes. Are you understanding? Half closed eyes. Okay, bearded man. He is wearing a dress which is having very good trefiliote designs on it. Flower designs on cloth are known as trefiliote designs. Okay, if the design of flower is embroidered on the cloth, it is known as trefiliote design. Is it all right? Okay, definitely he looks like Modi. Okay, there is no doubt. Okay, so definitely he looks like Modi. So this is one more thing about the image. Then the next one is this steatite images of, okay, which are in fact showing the image of a human bodily torso. Okay, torso is the body part which is from here to here. It is known as torso. Is it clear? So torso is being shown here. This is a steatite image. In fact, it has holes here at head, okay, hands and legs. In fact, it is a toy, sir. Are you understanding this? Okay, but unfortunately, this toy has fallen in the hands of a kid, okay, who is a little bit of a psycho. That is the reason why he has removed all the hands, legs, head. We don't find anything except for the torso. But see the modeling of the body torso. It is in fact very similar to the realistic body type of an Indian male. Are you understanding this? Okay, with a little bit of a tummy. That is a typical Indian characteristic, right? Okay, so this is the torso which has been made. So all of these are in fact 3D images, sir. Then apart from that, okay, the relief images, we already know about them. The seals and ceilings. Yes, seals and ceilings, they have carved images on them. I have shown the images of Gilgamesh, Pasupati seal. Then apart from that, I have shown the image of, okay, unicorn seal, bull seal, rhino seal. All these things I have shown, right? So this is the Indus Valley civilization's sculpture, sir. Even though Indus Valley civilization's architecture is plain and utilitarian, its sculpture, it shows, okay, tremendous aesthetic sensibility. Aesthetic sensibility means a sensibility which understands beauty. Are you understanding this, sir? So some people have aesthetic sensibility, some others don't have. Okay, even beautiful, not beautiful, it is all the same. Okay, but for some people there is a eye for beauty, appreciation for the things which are beautiful. So they have an enormous aesthetic capability. Even though their buildings are plain and utilitarian, their sculpture shows their aesthetic capabilities. Is it all right? So this is Indus Valley civilization sculpture for us, and it can be asked as an independent 10-marker question in itself, sir. Is it all right? So all the images I have discussed about, the style also I talked about, method of making I discussed, then seals I have talked about. So let's have a look at this section. No, it's not lost. Wax is lost. Okay, the technique is known. Even now, okay, all the images are made with the same technique, sir. Okay, metal images, whenever you make, you will make it with the same technique. Because you take wax, you can easily carve it wax. You take a wax block, you carve it. Then after that, you put clay on top. Then you put it in sun. Then after that, you take the clay mold, heat it. Wax will be lost. Then pour molten metal. Simple. The image will be created. Is it clear? So this is okay, seals I have already shown. Totem image, Gilgamesh seal, elephant, okay, this Jebu bull, okay, then unicorn, then Pashupati seal. Okay, then this is also unicorn seal. Okay, what are the animals which are associated with Pashupati, sir? Huh? What are the animals which are associated? Bird D, you remember? Bird D. Okay, D are deers. Okay, T is tiger. Okay, bird, R means rhino. Okay, E means elephant. R, B means buffalo or bull, sir? Bull. Okay, so these are the 5 animals which are associated with the Pashupati seal. Now, see this, sir. So they have the sculpture are having realism and mastery over form. Okay, mastery over form. Okay, so there you write. They have slender and well proportioned images. They have slender and well proportioned images. Okay, slender and well proportioned images they usually make. Slender and well proportioned images. Then they create 3D images and relief images. Okay, they have fantastic animals. Metal used is stone, bronze, terracotta and steatite. Okay, so priest, mother goddess. Okay, seals may you have Gilgamesh seal. Okay, then dancing girl is standing in Tribanga style. You write there. Tribanga style is for dancing girl. For dancing girl. Then lost wax or Sire Pedro technique is there. Then apart from the dancing girl, you find the images of buffalo, goat and bull which are made of bronze. Then male torso of red sandstone. You have seen the male torso of red sandstone, right? Then totems of families are reflected. Then there is script on tablet. Is it clear? So then mother goddess, usually the images are crude images and she is wearing a fan shaped headdress, cup like projections on each side and emblems of fertility. Okay, sometimes this mother goddess is shown as a pregnant woman, sir. Okay, this image is normal image, but some other images they show the woman as impregnated woman. Is it all right? Okay, so then dancing girl, tribanga, bund hair, bangles in one arm, amulets in other arm. Okay, amulet in other arm. So they standing in tribanga pose. So this is the Indus Valley civilization sculpture. There you write one statement. Indus Valley civilization reflects a fine aesthetic sensibility, reflects a fine aesthetic you want to spell aesthetic means beauty, capability. Aesthetic means beauty, capability, fine aesthetic capability, and their images reflect realism and mastery over form. Their images reflect realism and mastery over form. Okay, form means the shape. Okay, mastery over the form and realism is reflected by them. Clear, sir? Now, the next one is Mauryan sculpture, sir. Because in Vedic period, age of Mahajanapadas, okay, early and later Vedic period, you don't have any sculpture. Directly, we move to Mauryan sculpture, sir. Because from the Mauryan time, again, we see the emergence of a stone sculpture tradition, sir. And this stone sculpture tradition, usually, the sculpture is present on top of Ashokan pillars, right? Usually, the Ashokan pillars, they look this way, sir. Okay, so many of the Ashokan pillars, they are in fact not, this kind of straight pillars. They are in fact truncated pillars. Truncated pillars means they look like, so not this much curvature, sir, but slight curvature. Okay, this way. Slight curvature is shown here. Okay, slight curvature. Then, usually on pillars, you have the inscriptions of Ashoka. Yes, and on top, usually every pillar, it has a base and capital, right? Yes. Okay, and these pillars are independent pillars which are not attached to any building. And usually in Ashokan pillars, you don't find any base. There is no base, sir. Whereas the capital is an highly elaborated capital is present, sir. And as part of this highly elaborated capital, first to top the pillar, they place an inverted lotus structure of capital. This is considered to be the lower capital, sir. Lower capital is what? The inverted lotus structure or the bell-shaped structure will be placed, which is known as, so you just remember Indian emblem, you will understand. I'll show the images later. So inverted lotus structure is first one. Then on top of it, you will have a circular band which is known as abacus. Okay, this is lower capital, that is in lotus format, inverted lotus. Then on top of it, you will have a abacus. Abacus is present on top of inverted lotus capital. Then on top of abacus, usually you have the images of animals. Animal images, 4-lion capital is there at Sarnath, which became the Indian emblem. Single lion capitals are present at some places. Some places there is bull capital, some places there is elephant capital. So this way different animal images are placed here. Then over these animal images, usually, the Ashokan pillar is associated with a Dharma Chakra. But this Dharma Chakra is not found on any pillar as of now. Okay, but originally there is a Dharma Chakra on top. Then below that there is animal. Below that there is abacus. Below that there is, so this inverted lotus structure. Then after that, below that there is a pillar. Okay, shaft is this. Are you understanding this, sir? Shaft is the pillar. Now, if you see this Dharma Chakra is known as upper capital. The animal image is known as middle capital. Then below that there is abacus, and below that there is lower capital, which is usually inverted lotus structure. Making sense? What I'm trying to say? Yes. So, if you see the images of Ashoka's pillars, usually the images are stylized structures, particularly in middle capital, the images which are present, they are highly stylized structures but they are not, okay, reflection of the realism of animals. Okay, just remember the Indian emblems, lions, sir. Are they realistic? They are stylized, right? Okay, you don't find any lion with such neatly combed mane. Do you find any, sir? So neatly combed mane it has. Even the facial features are also not exactly like realistic lion, right? Okay, that is the reason why in recent days Indian government, when it is publishing the emblem, it is showing the face as a roaring lion. Okay, to show the assertion of India. Okay, maybe sometime in future the lions will also start jumping from the capital and hunting people down to. ये फ्यूचर में वो भी हो सकता है. ओके, सो वहां पे क्यों रुके? ओके, पहले साइलेंट था, अभी चिल्लाना शुरू किया, फिर बाद में आके ओके मार देगा भी. सो किसको पता चलेगा क्या? So that is how, okay, the kind of aggression which is happening in India, it is shown in the lion image. It is showing, okay, more and more roaring. But originally, if you see Ashokan pillar, there is only a slight roar, sir. Okay, not like, okay, full-fledged, okay, roar before hunting. It is just a slight roar, and this roaring is in fact an emblem of spreading the message of Buddhism in the all four directions, sir. Are you getting? 4 lions on 4 directions is, in fact, the implication is that Buddhism is being spread on the 4 directions of India. Is it all right? The chakra which is present on top is Dhamma chakra. Then below that there is abacus, right? In abacus also there are animal images. So you might have seen Indian emblem. It has one bull and one horse image, right? Just see Indian emblem once. Abacus pe there are images which are carved with chakra in between them. In total, in fact, there are 4 animals on the Sarnatha abacus. These 4 animals are, one is bull, second one is again there is a lion, then third is there is a horse, and fourth one is there is an elephant. Abacus band is there. On that band there are 4 animals which are carved in bas relief but not 3D. Bas relief means, okay, on the abacus itself they have carved this. And 4 animals are present: horse, bull, elephant and lion. Elephant is an emblem of Maya's dream. You remember? Then bull is in fact the emblem of Buddha's birth sign, sir. Buddha is in fact a Taurus. Okay, Vrishabha Rasi. Rasi, you know. Usually people have Rashi, right? Buddha is also a Taurus. Okay, that is his Vrishabha. Then apart from he being a Vrishabha, that is Taurus. So there is one more is the elephant image, which is the emblem of Buddha's Maya's dream. Then the third one is horse, that is Buddha's favorite horse, that is Chetaka. Yes. So then after this, the last elephant image is the image of a lion. Lion is in fact a symbolism of, okay, the spreading of Buddhism. So these 4 images are included on the abacus. Right now the Indian emblem is what? Sarnatha pillar, and it removes the top cycle. There is no top cycle in Indian emblem. Only the image which is present is the 4 lion plus abacus is adopted as Indian emblem. Even the lotus base is also not adopted as Indian emblem, sir. Only the abacus and middle capital, they become Indian emblem. And below that they have written one statement called Satyameva Jayate. You might be knowing about Satyameva Jayate statement, right? That is also present here. So this way, okay, the Ashokan pillars are made. And here the middle capital images, they regularly change. At Sanchi and Sarnath, at 2 places you have 4 lion capital. And at many other places like Lauriya Nandangarh, Lauriya Ahrajgarh, so in those places you have single lion capital. At a place called Rampurva, you find the bull capital. So the bull capital of Rampurva, it is right now present in Rashtrapati Bhavan of India. It is not present at Rampurva. And the last one is elephant capital, which is present at this place called Sankisa. Are you following this, sir? In fact, the sculpture and the message of Ashoka's Dhamma, they together can be asked as a very good question in UPSC mains, sir. Are you understanding this, sir? So when they ask questions on art and culture, they will not, okay, standalone ask about sculpture. They will ask also about the message of Ashoka which has been given on pillar. What is the central message of Ashoka's Dhamma, sir? What are the key aspects? Ahimsa is one. Shil is one more. See, the central aspects of Ashoka's Dhamma are 4 things, sir. One is Ahimsa. Second one is Saubhratitva. Third one is Samanvaya. You remember? Saubhratitva, Samanvaya, Ahimsa and Shil are the 4 essential aspects of Ashoka's Dhamma. I talked about it long back. Okay, long back means 3 days back, 3 or 4 days back. Okay. So that's the case. Definitely it is a little heavy on the head. Okay, I understand, but keep revising, sir. Keep revising the handouts. So this is the story of Ashokan pillars. All right. Making sense, sir? Now, shall we move to the next topic? Okay, so let's have a look at this, sir, first. This is the Mauryan pillar, sir. See this. Okay, shaft is there, monolith shaft. Then this is a lower capital. You can write it down if it's not given there. This is a lower capital, that is inverted lotus. On top there is abacus. Then middle capital is there. Okay, so crowning element is usually a chakra, which is now missing. It is called as upper capital. Okay, upper capital. I will show one artistic recreation of this original pillar, how it used to look like. Okay, this is the image, sir. This is the image of the original pillar. It used to look like, with the dharma chakra on top, with the 4 lines in 4 directions. Then abacus. Okay, with chakra at center of every 2 animals. Then below that there is a bell capital. Below that there is a bell capital, right? Then after this, if you see the stone type here, can you realize the Mauryan polish here? This is the original pillar of Ashoka, which is found at Sarnath. Can you realize the reflective finish? Light is getting reflected. It is very smooth, right? Where the stone that has been used is buff colored grey sandstone. Grey sandstone is used here. Can you see the 4 lions? Look at the manes of the lions. They are very well made. Then lion image is also slightly roaring. Is it making sense? And these are stylized pictures but not realistic pictures. Yes or no? Okay, so this is the case with this. So this is the image which has been made. Okay, this is the inverted lotus cap. All right, sir. Making sense? What I'm trying to say? So this is the case. Now let's have a look at this section, sir. Mauryan pillars usually have Mauryan polish. The second statement is a mistake, sir. They are not realistic, idealistic depiction, you write. Okay, they are idealistic depiction, not realistic. Idealistic depiction, number 2. Then the images are usually present on the capitals and abaci. The capital, okay, and abaci are the 2 places where these are present. Images. Then lively postures and floral and floreate designs are also present. Okay, on the pillar itself, you can see some floral designs. Then they have elemental solidity, and usually the animals are shown as strong and bull-necked animals. Bull-necked means very stout neck is known as bull-neck. Okay, it is in fact a source of strength for animals. Okay, they are known as bull-necked animals. Okay, strong neck. Then the pillars are tapering pillars. Are you understanding tapering pillar? The size decreases. It is called as tapering pillar, and it has upper, middle, and lower capital. And the stone that is used is 2 stones are used. One is buff grey sandstone, and the second one is spotted red and fine sandstone. 2 kinds of stones are used here. Okay, one is found at Varanasi, the second one is found at Mathura. Okay, there are in total 7 remaining pillars stupas, of which 5 with lions, 1 with an elephant, and 1 with a jebu bull. Okay, I have given the places also, sir. On top of it lay the capital, which was either lotus shaped or bell shaped. Above the capital there was circular or rectangular base known as abacus, on which an animal figure was placed. I think I talked about these things. Okay, now lion capital is present. Ashoka are situated in Sarnath, Vaishali, Sanchi, Laurya Nandangarh, and in Rampurva. Okay, in which Vaishali, Laurya Nandangarh, and Rampurva is single lion capital, whereas Sanchi and Sarnath are 4 lion capitals. Okay, 4 lion capitals, Sanchi and Sarnath. Lion capital at Sarnath, which is now the emblem of the government of India, is one of the finest examples of the sculpture from Mauryan period, and was built by Ashoka in commemoration of Dharma Chakra Parivartana. The Dharma Chakra Pravartana, okay, so or the first sermon of Buddha at Sarnath. Then abacus has 4 animals, that is elephant, bull, horse, and lion. See this. Okay, I think I told wrongly that lion symbolizes enlightenment, sir. Okay, I told lion on abacus, it symbolizes enlightenment. Lion on abacus, it symbolizes enlightenment. Horse, bull, and elephant. Then see this, sir. So I have already talked about them. Okay, single bull is present at Rampurva. You highlight it, tick mark it. Single bull is present at Rampurva. Then single elephant is present at this place called Samkisa. Rampurva is in Bihar. Okay, but right now the bull emblem, it is present in Rashtrapati Bhavan. You can see online also, sir. Okay, the bull is shown. Okay, the bull is shown. You can see the Rampurva pillar, capital. Okay, so Indian emblem, what images does it have on abacus, sir? Abacus में कौन सा images होगा? Indian emblem पे, because Indian emblem is two-dimensional. So which are the two animals which are shown on abacus usually? Horse and bull. Are you sure? Lion दिखाते abacus पे. Nice, sir. Okay, usually horse and bull are shown. Okay, you can check. You can check Indian emblem online. Abacus images you see. Usually horse and bull are denoted on abacus. Horse and bull are denoted on abacus. Okay, so usually Sarnath pillar, the lions are sitting in heraldic positions. Heraldic means kingly, okay, or stately, royal positions. Heraldic means royal positions. Huge manes, and they are shown in roaring poses. They are stylized and not realistic. Is it all right? Stylized and not realistic. Abacus animals are elephant, lion, bull, and horse. Okay, they are crowned by a wheel which is lost now. Okay, and the central message of Ashoka's Dhamma also, in order to make you guys revise, I have given it again. Saubhratatva, Ahimsa, Sheel, okay, and Samanvaya. These are the important ideas. Saubhratatva means fraternity, Samanvaya means tolerance, Sheel means conduct, which contains Dhammaguna and Bhavasuddhi. Dhammaguna is ethics in practice, Bhavasuddhi is ethics in thought. Bhava means thought, right? Yes or no? So these are the essential elements of Ashoka's Dhamma. Okay, so then apart from these pillar capitals from the Mauryan age, we find some independent sculpture, of which one sculpture is present in Dhauli. You know the half-carved elephant which is shown in movement, right? Okay, in fact, the sculptor, he did not finish the image, but the image is shown as if it is walking forward with a slight bend. Yes, that is one. Second one is, there is a Yaksha who is found from Mauryan age, who is known as Parkam Yaksha. Because he is found at Parkam, he is known as Parkam Yaksha. And the third image which is found from that period is this Yakshi called Didraganj Yakshi. Can you see Didraganj Yakshi there? Okay, Didraganj Yakshi, these are the three images which are found from the Mauryan age. Of these three images, the Didraganj Yakshi is a very prominent one, primarily because it has the Mauryan polish. Then apart from this, Didraganj Yakshi, she is lost in history, sir. No one knew where this image was. But in 1900, at a place called Didraganj, okay, what used to happen is Ganga river used to flow there. There, the washer women, they usually used to, okay, wash their clothes on one stone, sir. Okay, till 1900, okay, they were washing the clothes on this stone. But in 1900, what happened is, okay, one big snake, it has passed beneath this stone. And in order to kill the snake, the villagers, they started digging the stone. Once they started digging the stone, they found out that this is not just a small rock, it is a huge sculpture of a Yakshi. Okay, that is how at Didraganj, a washer woman's stone, it became, okay, into an Yakshi. And this Yakshi was originally made during the Mauryan time, okay, and it has, or some set feminine beauty ideals are present as part of this Didraganj Yakshi, sir. And these feminine ideals are usually, the woman is shown with okay, a solid personality. Okay, so she has very, in fact, constricted or narrow waist. Okay, but her, okay, upper body and lower body are broad. So this way, some ideals of beauty are reflected in Didraganj Yakshi. And the Didraganj Yakshi, she is holding a chauri in one hand. Okay, chauri is usually, okay, the emblem of fanning. Okay, kings usually, they blow chauri for themselves, right? So this is one large composition where other images are lost and only the Yakshi's image is remaining, sir. Is it clear? So this is the story of Didraganj Yakshi. She also has the fine Mauryan polish is reflected in these images. Mauryan polish is reflected. So this way, three sculptures are there. One is elephant at Dhauli. Second one is, okay, the Didraganj Yakshi. The third one is Yaksha at Parkam. I told you that Yaksha and Yakshi are more prominent than the Buddhist gods. They are tribal gods, right? So those are the images. Now, let's have a look at them. So these are the three images. One is half elephant, which is present at Dhauli. Second one is this Didraganj Ekshi. The third one is Parkam Eksha. Okay, but the Parkam Eksha, it has completely eroded, sir. Okay, so no hands, no face. Okay, but it is also a Mauryan make. Okay, then the last one is this Didraganj Ekshi. About the story of Didraganj Ekshi, I have included one paper cutting, sir. So you can read it. It is present in your handout too. Yes, so you can read it through. Same thing that I have talked about, the story of that washerwoman. Okay, the snake and how it is found. All of these things are included. And this is the image of Didraganj Ekshi, sir. Okay, very fine detailing is involved here. Okay, even the petals which are present on the dress are also carved on the image. Okay, because when dress is worn, usually petals will form, right? Okay, the curves or the foldings of the dress is also shown in the image. Again, in one hand she is holding chauri, the other hand is missing, sir. And they were washing the clothes on the base. The image was reverse in ground. Okay, base pe wo log kapde dhote the. Okay, so then after that they revived the entire structure. Okay, this is the story of Didraganj Ekshi. Her hair is also made in a bun format. Okay, hair in bun format, the same thing. Okay, prominent headgear, okay, prominent jewels, all of these things are reflected to Didraganj Ekshi, and she also has the fine Mauryan polish, which is reflective polish. Not marble, it is also buff colored sandstone. Same like this Ashoka's pillar images are there, right? Similar to that, buff colored sandstone. Okay, not marble. So this is the case with the Didraganj Ekshi. Her story is given there. Just see this independent sculpture, you tick mark things. Didraganj Ekshi, fine finish and realism. Parkam Eksha is present. Then apart from that, the stone tradition, okay, is followed primarily because stone tradition is usually an imperial tradition. Then Mauryan polish is seen. So when it comes to Ekshi, tall and well-built body with great attention to the rounded muscular body and great detailing of the lower garment of the body with each fold of the garment depicted. He is holding chauri in one hand. Okay, chauri in one hand. So these are the images of the Mauryan period. Okay, then after Mauryan period, we have the post-Mauryan age. Okay, in fact, in post-Mauryan age, the main predominance is, okay, the predominance sculpture in the post-Mauryan age. So just see this. I'll explain this, sir. Okay, post-Mauryan age, it is known for its relief sculpture. Relief sculpture is the most dominant form of sculpture in post-Mauryan age. When it comes to relief sculpture, usually the relief sculpture is carved sculpture on a wall. Focus, sir. Okay, very important. So carved sculpture on wall is called as relief sculpture. And when it comes to this relief sculpture, there are two types. One is low relief sculpture. Second one is high relief sculpture. When it comes to high relief sculpture are the sculpture which have depth greater than 3 centimeters. And the depth is less than 3 centimeters. Okay, 1 to 3 centimeters is called low relief. Greater than 3 centimeters is called as high relief. Am I correct? Okay, so these are the two types of relief images which are carved images on wall. And here the relief images from post-Mauryan age, they are found mainly at places which are known as Gaya is one. Bharaut is the second place. Okay, the third one is Sanchi. When it comes to the first two traditions, are usually low relief sculptures. Whereas the third tradition, it shows, okay, high relief as part of its sculpture. Okay, when the sculpture is made in low relief, usually the images are not very well carved, they are not very well proportioned, and usually the images look as if they are hanging from the wall. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Low relief mein agar aap image carve kiya to usually they look like hanging features. Are you getting this? And usually the low relief images at Sanchi and Bharaut, they are present on, okay, the compound wall which is present for the stupa. Remember the compound wall, sir? Ushnisha, Stuchi, Stamba. Okay, this entire thing is known as Vedika, right? Usually the carvings in stupa, they are made on the Vedika is one. The second one is the Torana. You might be knowing about Toranas, right? So Vedika Torana pe usually the carvings are made, and in the places where the Suchi meets the Stamba, there is one place here, right? Usually at this place, they make a sculpture which is known as medallion sculpture in round format. I'll show some medallion sculpture for you. Medallion sculpture is made here, And sometimes the medallion sculpture, it contains some live events of Buddha. Sometimes it also contains human faces also as part of this medallion sculpture. Portraits. Human portraits are part of this medallion sculpture, or Buddha's life stories are also shown in medallion sculpture. Sometimes the entire stamba is a carved stamba, okay, which shows the images of either Yakshas, Yakshis or Nagas or Naginis. Is it clear? So, and low reef sculpture was present initially. So, this is the case with the Gaya and Bharat sculpture. After this, I'll discuss Sanchi. So, let's have a look at the Gaya and Bharat sculpture. Okay, so when it comes to this Gaya and Bharat sculpture, where am I? Okay, post-Mauryan age. Okay, during this period, okay, so the important pillar which has been erected is, we already know about this, right? The Heliodorus pillar which is erected at Vidisha, okay, where Heliodorus declares himself to be Bhagavata, which is erected during the Shunga period. Okay, Kasiputra Bhagavadra period mein, this has been erected. Okay, I have talked about this, but naturally you might not have been remembering the same. Okay, so that is one. Then after that there is bas relief, low relief are there, high relief are there, Bharat, Gaya and Sanchi. Usually the carvings are railings and gateways. Railings are Vedikas, gateways are Toranas. Then 3D sculpture is present at post-Mauryan age mein hi. 3D sculpture is present at 3 places, Gandhara, Mathura and Amaravati. Okay, Gandhara, Mathura and Amaravati, they contain 3D sculpture. Okay, when it comes to the relief sculpture, okay, just see these images, you will get clear idea on how the sculpture is usually made. Can you see stambas which are carved in the form of Yakshi? Okay, did you understand? And this is one medallion sculpture which shows Maya dreaming about a white elephant, conception of Buddha, yes, Avakranti, yes, but the artist, he is not able to show any depth element in the sculpture, right? Yes, that is the reason why it is being shown as if the elephant is falling on Maya who is sleeping. Okay, this is a dream sequence, but they are not able to depict the depth aspect. Okay, for depth they replaced height, right? Okay, these people are first. This is the, okay, in people who are attendees of Maya. Then Maya is sleeping. Then after that, the next one is elephant in dream. Is it making sense, sir? Medallion sculpture, and this is the images of Yakshas which are present on stambas. So the Indian government tried to recreate the Bharat Stupa railing. In railing, every stamba was carved into an Yakshi. Okay, that is the reason why the Europeans were shocked. Buddha was talking about brahmacharya, but his stupas are surrounded by the figures of women. Yes, this is Yakshi. One form of Yakshi is this. In fact, Didraganj is also Yakshi. In fact, if you see, the Yakshi is catching onto a tree, right? Can you see that? In fact, she is considered to be the tree spirit, sir. She is a very, very prominent Yakshi called Shalabanjika. Okay, Shalabanjika. Okay, Shalabanjika is the Yakshi who is the tree spirit. Alright, so Shalabanjika 3. Relief sculpture, you see that Yaksha and Yakshi, good finish and decoration. Medallions contain Jatka stories. Low to high relief is seen here, but there are flat and hanging features in Bharat. Okay, because it is low relief, please write it down. Bharat, because as it is low relief, and from in Bharat you see somewhat more deeper relief. Okay, and usually the human faces are shown in 3/4 poses. This is very important, sir. Okay, 3/4 poses. It means that the full face is not seen. Usually human face depiction mein there are many kinds, sir. One is this full face depiction. One. Second one is half face. Third one is, okay, quarter face. Only one part. 3/4 face is this. Are you understanding this? Usually the 3/4 face is depicted primarily because in sculpture, okay, if you depict the full face, then the nose should come outside. It will be a little difficult to depict this. That is the reason why they usually used to choose, okay, 3/4 poses. This is the important example of a 3/4 pose. Alright. Okay, so this is the case. Then Sanchi. Last one is Sanchi. When it comes to Sanchi, okay, Sanchi contains, okay, numerous, okay, images which are carved onto the Torana and Vedika. Okay, through examples I will explain, sir, because I already talked about it. So this is also the image of this lady called Shalabanjika. Shalabanjika, forest spirit. Okay, she is standing in unique Tribang style of India. Tribang style is more clearly depicted here, right? Okay, leg is bent, waist is bent, and neck is bent. Three poses. Then along with that, if you see, this is the stamba of a Torana. See how intricately carved it is. I talked about the busy street of India where the women were looking on the street. Are you able to perceive it, sir? Then even the gardens and forests of India are also depicted here. Can you see them? Okay, so then apart from that, the elephant procession is shown here. Then apart from this, if you see this, it shows the image of a procession towards Buddha's stupa. See, one king is also coming in chariot. So many attendees are coming. People are coming in elephants. All of them are coming in order to pray to the stupa. It is being depicted here clearly. Is it making sense, sir? Some people are paying their respect towards the stupa. Is it all right, sir? Okay, so this way the sculpture is very, very well carved. Okay, then apart from this, one more is, okay, this is the medallion sculpture here. What is it signifying, sir? Huh? Praying to forest spirit? Or is it not the enlightenment of Buddha? Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree. This is Bodhi tree. Okay, and see the architrave. It also has numerous images as part of it. Okay, can you see some 3D images are also carved? Are you understanding this, sir? In fact, this image, it shows the busy realism of India. Higher relief. Okay, higher relief. I'll show one image with the higher relief. Low relief is this. This is a less than 3 centimeters depth, right? Depth is, this is less than 30 centimeters. It is considered as low relief. High relief means the depth should be greater than 3 centimeters. Huh? Huh. I think you are understanding. The depth for sculpture, it should be less than 3 centimeters. If it is there, then it is called as low relief. Greater than 3 centimeters, if it is there, it is called as high relief. Simple. Are you getting this, sir? So this is some of the images. And in fact, the Sanchi Stupa, it reflects the busy realism of Indian life. Okay, so it talks about the forests of India. It talks about the Jataka stories. It talks about the life stories of Buddha. And it also narrates numerous folk tales of its own, sir. Forest life, yes. Because Sanchi Stupa Vedika is there. On that, some images of forest life are depicted, sir. Animals roaming around in forest. Okay, different kinds of trees are present. All of these are sculpted onto the walls of these things. Okay, in fact, this Buddhist Sanchi Stupa sculpture itself is the inspiration for that folk tradition question that has been asked. Remember folk tradition question? Folk tradition's influence on Buddhist Stupa. Is it making sense, sir? So this is the case. Now, let's have a look at this section, sir, once. Okay, in fact, the Torana. Okay, so that is pillar, Torana pillar capital. Okay, architrave is the horizontal bar on the Torana is called architrave. Okay, let's suppose this is a Torana. Here there is a horizontal bar right on top that is called as architrave. Okay, bracketed niches are the places where usually the sculpture are placed. This way. Here the sculpture is placed right. Okay, these are known as bracketed niche. Bracketed niche is reflected here. And typically, okay, the scenes which are depicted are Avakranti, Jati, Mahabhinishramana, Sambodhi, Dharmachakra Parivartana, and Mahaparinirvana. Okay, these are the things which are being depicted there. Okay, so then along with that, you write one more statement, sir. The folk tales of India. The folk tales of India, write it down. The folk tales of India, there itself. Okay, don't write anywhere else. Okay, the folk tales of India. And the images of Ikshas, Ikshis, folk tales of India. The images of Ikshas, Ikshis, Nagas, Naginis, Ikshas, Ikshis, Nagas, Naginis. okay, Nagas, Naginis, and the forest life of India, forest life of India, the palace life of India, forest life of India, the palace life of India, forest life, palace life, okay, the busy streets of India, the busy streets of India, are depicted in the images. Depicted in the images. Okay, so these are the important themes, sir. So shall we have a break? It's been 2 hours. Shall we have a break? So how should we plan? Okay, because I want to finish this slide. Okay, this slide I have to finish. Okay, so based on that we will plan, sir. So some 1.5 hours is required. 1.5 hours. Okay, so maybe by 2:30, okay, we'll be able to wind it up. Is it all right? Okay, so you go take a half an hour break, okay, get recharged properly, then come back. So 1.5 hours more, okay, we'll be winding it up. All right. So it is 12:30 now. Okay, so it will be 2:30. Okay, 2:30 to 45, you'll be able to wind it up. Okay, I'll give a brief introduction to painting too. Only discussion I'll do. Then after that we will leave. All right. Because in sculpture there is no medieval sculpture. It's easy. Okay, because Islamic rule is there. That is the reason why no sculpture.